It's a good thing we can blame all of our plastic production on, you know, the average everyday person. Hey, my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy, ZNF1 here. So, today, I want to talk to you guys about the plastic industry, specifically the lies that we have all been told and been made to believe out of, like, our desperate need to want to, you know, improve the environment and just make the world a better living space, not only for us, but our fellow terrestrial beings, you know, fish, animals, etc., many different varieties of them. But yeah, before you go and get into that, let's cue intro. We have been told that, you know, it's our fault for the reason why the environment is so shitty, flooded with plastics that take forever to decompose, and just like ungodly fucking bashed, and we have this huge responsibility placed on us solely as individuals to recycle and, you know, be good human beings, when actuality, it's not really solely our fault. If you look at a lot of evidence, it's really not as much our fault as we are led to believe. We still should recycle, yes, but it's not really our fault as much as we've been told. Now, plastic is everywhere. It's easy to make and use, and it's made people's lives a hell of a lot more convenient, correct? Since the start of its production in the 1950s, its total has skyrocketed to approximately 367 million metric tons as of 2020. That's a shit ton of plastic, right? According to Changing Markets Foundation, half of all plastics ever made have been produced since 2005. Now, of these plastics, only 5% of these are recycled in the USA as of 2020. That's like the tip of the huge fucking iceberg that sunk the Titanic, man. Only the PET and HDPE plastics are recyclable. There are 7 types left, and most of these are virgin plastics, meaning they've been made for the first time or they're new. These really aren't that recyclable. Companies are completely aware of this fact and still put arrows on all of their plastics. It's just cheaper to make new plastic types, so they just keep doing it instead of using the ones that are recyclable. Knowing this, the industry lobbied state legislators to pass laws requiring the chasing arrow symbol to be placed on all their containers, regardless of whether they can be recycled or not. This is according to tonight's John Oliver. Now, some of you guys might know John Oliver from a couple of like the TV comedies and other works he's done. For instance, he was in Community as the cheeky and sort of weird counselor, but he does do some like really good tidbits on pressing issues across the world and in the news area. The #1 global polluter, Coca-Cola, and other manufacturing companies lobbied local governments to invest in curbside pickup programs. This is despite, you know, how much they actually pollute and everything and lie to us. Now, this is sort of to like, you know, make their image seem nice and just like polish it. Make it seem like they genuinely fucking care, when in actuality they really fucking don't, because they just don't even bother making plastic bottles from the 2 different types that can actually be recycled. They just make new ones instead. Now, they keep up that whole facade we talked about just a second ago, despite the fact that a industry insider acknowledged as far back as 1974 that big oil misled people and that there's serious doubt that recycling plastic can ever be made viable on an economic basis. Now, shocker there that the big oil industry lied and manipulated us to take advantage of how desperately we want to recycle plastic and, do things better for the environment. The United States in 2018 had a recycling rate of only 8.7%, which is roughly about 3 million tons. It's kind of crazy of how little is actually recycled there, right? All that data that helps to calculate that percentage of recycled crap in the US comes from EPA.gov, which got all of their data to measure it from the American Chemistry Council, the National Association for PET Container Resources, and the Association of Plastic Recyclers. Now, good old number one polluter globally, Coca-Cola, only recycles about 9.7% of their actual products. Wait, you mean a company that advocates so much for it and says that they do all the time? They don't actually do that? What? Nani? How are we going to sit here and, recycle all these products that we sit here and say that we do, but we actually don't? Oh, we'll just, push the agenda and funnel the idea to our, marketers and people to lobby, all the local governments to invest in curbside pickup and everything. So we'll have a good sort of branding on us still. And that people can't say we don't, not really participate at all in recycling plastics and lie to them completely about, the fact that 9.7% of our products can only be recycled, which is only 2 different types of plastics. And we don't even make that up time. We just use virgin plastics constantly because they can always be recycled. Most things that are the numbers 3 through 7, and really in particular number 7 type plastics, are often just thrown into recycling bins and people don't even bother to check locally. In addition to this, there's also things like vacuum cleaners or a fucking piece of plastic from your monitor screen. This is often called wish cycling. This contributes to the massive landfills, and as the big oil and plastic industry would say, it's all your fault. Which it really isn't, but we still definitely should recycle and check to make sure that we're recycling properly with our local recycling plants. Some of you guys might already be aware of this, but there's a continental size patch in the Pacific Ocean of microplastics that, according to theoceancleanup.com, is 2 times the size of Texas and 3 times the size of France. Fucking gigantic as shit, isn't it? Now, on the bright side, at least, according to New York Times, more than 180 countries agreed last year to place strict limits on exporting of plastics from richer to poorer countries. The USA, unfortunately, which I'm pretty disappointed in the fact this is the case, is exporting more still because it was not a part of this whole agreement or proposal. Come on, USA, get your shit the fucking together. Or, I don't know, maybe those of you inside the government are too busy coddling up to and being buddy-buddy with all the fucking 1%ers of the business industry and sipping on your fancy Voss water through your porcelain teacups. I don't know. Shit gets blamed on us quite a bit, when in actuality, it's really not our faults. There's probably the Rockefellers that are just sitting there with their ivory teacups being, oh, this water is quite brilliant, don't you think? Must really suck having all that cheap plastic to drink out of your water of. It's a good thing we can blame all of our plastic production on, the average everyday person. Am I right? Obviously, we should still recycle, but we should do it more consciously and, check locally at our recycling plants to see what type of plastics they actually accept and can be recycled. Wait. So you're saying if the oil and plastic industry doesn't do their fair share of responsibility and isn't regulated on how they, get rid of plastics and everything, by the year 2050, the plastic population is going to overpopulate the fish. Shit's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's not that hard to just tell the fucking truth. And I don't know, be responsible with fucking finances and taking care of your home that's provided for you and all of your ancestors and, I don't know, the whole lifespan of human history. That's going to be it for us today, my dudes. If you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to, like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this and helps to get me further up in that algorithm. Now, if you guys did make it to the end of the video here, go ahead and leave the word Gaia in the comments down below to let me know that you guys are part of the 100% Club and got to the end of this video. As usual, though, my dudes, I do hope you guys enjoy this and found it to be educational or enlightening. With that being said, though, please don't forget to, live long and prosper, take care and peace, and keep it 1,000,000% real. I will see you guys on the flip side.
If being true to myself means that I'll lose the respect, then I'll stand my ground like both my feet are stuck in cement. I was raised to keep my feelings, thoughts, and words all consistent. If you're censoring your heart, then what's the reason for living? I don't need their approval to validate my position, and I don't need to be accepted, never ask for permission. My motivation won't expire, I don't get tired, I get driven. If they don't like it, then they're not required to comment or listen.